a very significant year for the royal family, and they are going to be marking it at Sandringham this Christmas, getting together for one of the biggest family gatherings they've had there at Christmas.
Sarah Hewson, Talk TV's royal editor, is with us this morning. Good morning to you, Sarah.
Morning, Anna. I see we're twinning in our Santa hats this
Oh,
morning.
excellent. I've just seen you now on Zoom. For those people who can't see Sarah, she's in her Santa hat. She's got a sparkly
Christmas
Christmas tree
jumper.
behind her. Good morning to you. Um, it has been, I mean, we've talked politics this morning, we've talked sport, we're going to talk business shortly. But in terms of the royal family, I mean, it's been a year to remember. It's been a year filled with sadness as well, but also the beginning of a new era. I mean, what are your thoughts on everything that's happened this year when it comes to the royal family?
It's been a year to remember and a year to forget, I think, Anna, for the royal family. Some real highs and some real lows. And start on the low point with obviously Harry and Meghan and the continued fracturing of that family relationship, Prince Andrew as well. The highs of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee back earlier on in the summer, and then the ultimate low with the loss of the Queen in September. So, a very significant year for the royal family, and they are going to be marking it at Sandringham this Christmas, getting together for one of the biggest family gatherings they've had there at Christmas, and looking back on what a year it has been, and looking back on the loss of the Queen and the start of the new era under King Charles.
Sarah, just to talk us through, we'll talk a little bit about what the future may hold for the royal family, because indeed we know that January is going to start with that rather controversial release of Prince Harry's book. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just what are the traditions of Christmas within the royal household? You mentioned Sandringham there. How different is it going to be this year?
Well, I think from what we've seen from King Charles so far, he's keen to maintain continuity and traditions as much as possible. And so they are gathering at Sandringham, which is the Queen's estate in Norfolk, so well loved by her, and where they have typically gathered for Christmas, although not since 2019, because 2020 and 2021 spent for the Queen at Windsor because of COVID. So getting back together at Sandringham, a group of up to 50 of them, but not all of the family. They had a Christmas lunch for those who didn't make the cut earlier on this week. And they follow a German tradition introduced by Prince Albert, and they give their presents on Christmas Eve. And they tend to give joke presents or comedy presents or novelty presents of some description. Kate is reported once to have given Prince Harry a grow your own girlfriend kit. The Queen was given one of those. Do you remember those Billy the Bass fish that went on
Oh,
the wall?
yes, the ones
One
that
of those
move.
presented to her, yes. I think Kate also said her first Christmas, she was panicking. What on earth do you give the Queen? So she made her some of her grandmother's chutney,
Oh,
which
that's
she
a good
found sitting
move.
on the table at Boxing Day, which was a good endorsement, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they have a black tie dinner on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, they have a buffet breakfast, and they get up and they walk to church, and crowds gather to watch them outside church. I've spent many a Christmas morning there at Sandringham. And then they go home for Christmas lunch, a typical Christmas turkey lunch. And on Boxing Day, it is the Royal Boxing Day shoot. So those are the traditions that they follow. And this year, set to be the same as ever. 3 o'clock, of course, on Christmas Day, the monarch's speech, the royal Christmas message, the first one for King Charles this year.
Absolutely. It will be interesting to see what is in his Christmas message. We will certainly be catching up on lots of royal news come the new year. As I mentioned, Prince Harry's book is due out. That's going to be controversial, isn't it?
Yes, I don't think it's going to make for a particularly relaxing run up to 2023 for the royal family. Spare is due out on the 10th of January, and Harry and Meghan have also got another documentary coming out on New Year's Eve about leadership. So we'll have to see if they're tuning in for that.
We will indeed. Sarah Hewson, Talk TV's royal editor, thank you very much for joining us this morning and keeping us across all the analysis in terms of all the events that have happened this year regarding the royal family.